They say small beginnings can lead to big endings. But imagine this. You've just graduated from college, and instead of feeling free, you feel chained. Not by choice, but by debt. That was Daniel's reality. At 24, he had a degree in communications, a modest job, and a staggering $28,000 in student loans. Every month, he sent in his minimum payment, and every month the balance barely moved. Rent ate up most of his paycheck. Groceries and transport left him with scraps. And on nights when he lay awake staring at the ceiling, he couldn't help but wonder, am I ever going to be free from this weight? The frustration built slowly, like water dripping into a bucket. He wasn't irresponsible. He didn't party hard. He didn't waste money on flashy gadgets. But still, the debt loomed over him. At this pace, it would take him over 10 years to pay it off. 10 years of living carefully, scraping by, and never really moving forward. One evening, after another long day at work, Daniel was scrolling through YouTube to distract himself. He stumbled across a video of a man flipping secondhand electronics for profit. The guy would buy used items, clean them up, and resell them online for double the price. At first, Daniel smirked. It sounded too simple, but the idea stuck in his head like a song you can't forget. That night he thought, what if I could try this? What if I could turn even a little money into something more? The problem was obvious. Daniel didn't have extra cash lying around. But over the next few weeks, he made sacrifices. He packed cheap lunches instead of eating out. He cut off streaming services. He avoided nights out with friends. It wasn't fun, but slowly he saved up $200. That $200 became his lifeline, the seed he hoped could change his story. Daniel's first buy was a used DSLR camera he found on Facebook Marketplace. The seller was desperate for quick cash and listed it for $180. Daniel didn't know much about cameras, but after some quick research, he realized it was worth more. His hands shook as he handed over the money. Nearly everything he had was gone in that moment. And for a second, he wondered if he'd just been scammed. He cleaned it carefully, took bright, clear photos, and listed it on eBay. The wait was nerve-wracking. Days passed. Then a notification popped up. Someone had bought it for $350. Daniel couldn't believe it. He had just doubled his money in a week. For the first time, he saw a small crack of light in the wall that debt had built around him. And from that moment, he was hooked. Daniel began spending nights and weekends hunting for undervalued items. He checked Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, thrift stores, and garage sales. He learned how to spot the gems. A laptop with cracked screen that only needed a cheap replacement, an old iPhone with a dead battery, gaming consoles gathering dust in someone's basement. He'd fix what he could, clean everything up, and resell them online. Some weeks, he made a couple $100. Other months, he made over $1,000. Eventually, the side hustle was pulling in $1,500 a month, almost as much as his day job. But here's the thing. Daniel didn't spend a dime of it on himself. No new sneakers, no fancy dinners, no vacations. He made a promise to himself. Every dollar from this hustle goes to the loan. It wasn't easy. While his friends upgraded their wardrobes, went on trips, and enjoyed their weekends, Daniel worked. He tested batteries, cleaned keyboards, negotiated with buyers, and packed boxes for shipping. Sometimes he questioned himself. He asked, is it worth it? Am I missing out on my youth? But every time he looked at that shrinking loan balance, the answer was yes, it was worth it. The months turned into years. Slowly, the mountain of debt shrank. He watched the balance drop from $28,000 to $20,000, then $12,000, then $5,000. Each milestone gave him a rush of hope, like oxygen after holding your breath too long. Finally, at age 27, Daniel made his last payment. He checked his account, and for the first time in years, the number read zero. The chain was gone. He was debt-free. What was supposed to take a decade had taken him less than 3 years. All started with that risky $200. But here's what makes the story even more powerful. Daniel didn't stop there. By then, his side hustle had grown into something bigger than a survival tactic. It was a business. He launched a small online store selling refurbished electronics. The same discipline that helped him pay off his loans now gave him financial freedom. Daniel's story isn't just about money. It's about persistence, sacrifice, and believing that small beginnings can lead to extraordinary outcomes. His friends, who once thought he was crazy for spending weekends fixing dusty old laptops, now came to him for advice. His story spread online, inspiring others to start their own side hustles. Some selling furniture, others freelancing, some even creating digital products. And it all started with $200. Think about that for a second. For some people, $200 is just a night out. For Daniel, it was a seed that grew into freedom. The truth is, many of us underestimate what we can do with small resources. We think we need a huge salary or a lucky break or a winning lottery ticket. But Daniel proved otherwise. With discipline, patience, and persistence, even the smallest amount can change the course of your life. So maybe the real question is, if you had $200 right now, what would you do with it? Would you spend it? Would you save it? Or would you find a way to turn it into something bigger? Something that could change your future the way Daniel changed his?